This is Helen Thompson. Thank you for being here today. If you are already subscribed to the show, thank you so much, mums. You always are amazing. And if you're here for the first time, make sure you subscribe to the show. Google Podcasts will shortly be closing permanently. So if you are subscribed via Google, please subscribe via another platform so you don't miss out on each episode. You will find First Time Mums Chat on all the main platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, as well as now on YouTube. Today, like in every episode, I'm bringing you an amazing woman, Tessia Watson, the author of the international best-selling book, Rejuvenated Mums Make Happy Kids, who shares her journey into parenthood. Tessia is a big advocate for mums to create their support systems to ensure they are well supported and to appreciate that it takes a village to raise a child. I found this excerpt from one of Tessia's blog posts really hit the spot and summed up very well for me where she's coming from. Birth is like a very big car accident, and as soon as this accident is over, when the recovering part of the process should begin, you are expected to be the main carer of this tiny human who was also in a car accident. The bottom line is that you can't do this journey alone. If you're a new mum, or if you're about to commence your parenting journey, then you'll know that many women in our modern fast-paced world feel alone and unsupported. Many are isolated and lack support from members of their family, such as their mothers or other close feminine role models. I'm your host, Helen Thompson, and I'm a childcare educator and baby massage instructor with many years' experience working with families. I started the First Time Mums Chat podcast in 2021 to help support mums as they face the challenges and struggles that parenting often involves, particularly when getting started for the first time. To help ease your transition into parenthood, I aim to offer supportive, holistic approaches and insights for mums of babies aged mainly from 4 weeks to 10 months old. In each episode, you'll hear insights from experts and other mums to help you become the most confident parent you can. Let's do this together. This podcast is for informational purposes only and does not constitute medical advice. Please contact a medical practitioner if you are concerned or have any medical issues. Now, let's meet Tessia and get on to the interview. Hi Tessia, and welcome to First Time Mums Chat. I'm really looking forward to chatting with you today. Can you please start by introducing yourself and telling us what inspired you to write your book?
First of all, thank you so much for having me today, Helen. This is really an honor to be here with you, and I'm very grateful, so thank you. So my name is Tessia Watson, and I am a spiritual teacher, an author, and an entrepreneur. And most importantly, I am a mother of 2 young boys, aged 11 years old and 9 years old. So when my first baby was around 1 year old, it's exactly when I started to feel that I needed more time for myself. I was with him 24/7, which was a lot, and I needed some me time. So I started to look around in my area if I could find anything where I could drop him off for a couple of hours and just have this precious me time for myself. I couldn't find anything, nothing, where I could drop him off for a couple of hours. I thought it was a win-win situation for both of us because he could discover new environment, learn independence, and have new friends while I can have some time for myself. So that's when I decided to create my own little crash and to allow mothers to have that opportunity to just have some rest and while we can take care of their children. And I decided as well to write about my journey, my story, in my book called Rejuvenated Mums Make Happy Kids. I just share the truth. This truth that I believe is not told enough, that we can be great moms while taking some time for ourselves, while realizing our dreams, growing, expanding, we can be great moms while doing those things. And I think sometimes we just either forget about it or we just don't think it's possible. That's the message in Rejuvenated Moms Make Happy Kids. It's just a message to moms to not to forget who they truly are.
Yeah, in your book, you talk a lot about rejuvenation. It's not just another book about self-care and about me time. That's what I liked about the book. When I read it, I thought it was brilliant in that respect.
Thank you. Yes, it's something that I experienced myself. And rejuvenation could be so different from one person to another. For me personally, rejuvenation practice is all about feeling new and whole again. So you can find different ways of bringing that into your life. Meditation was one tool, if we can call it this way, that helped me. Reading as well was another one. When I needed a much needed break, exercise, so that's more rejuvenation for the body, was really, really helpful as well because I was able to just focus on me, no distraction. It helped as well with my mind to be just less cluttered, I would say. And music. I love to dance. And dancing was just therapy. It just made me feel at the time so happy, so excited. So I could go back to that mom life, feeling refreshed, and it was really helpful.
I think dancing is a great way of releasing all that energy, but also having me time as well. It's a great way to do it.
Yes, definitely. It worked perfectly for me.
Hey mums, rarely a week goes by when I don't receive a desperate plea looking for help or ways to help improve the little one's sleep. I know that it's common to feel overwhelmed, exhausted and unsupported when you're getting started as a parent. Newborn sleep is of course something that has been discussed on the podcast in numerous episodes. I've interviewed a number of experts who have shared numerous tips and strategies to help you. I know many of you are time poor and need ideas and suggestions that you can include in your daily routine right now. To help, I've put together a quick guide for you. This quick start guide includes tips shared by experts on First Time Mums Chat that are easy to incorporate into your daily routine to help save you time, sanity and stress. Just go to mybabymassage.net/sleep now to get your quick guide. mybabymassage.net/sleep now. I also noted in your book that you have lots of different quotes. There was one particular quote, Eric Hoffer, and his quote, I'm just reading it here, to learn you need a certain degree of confidence, not too much and not too little. And if you have too little confidence, you will think you can't learn. I thought that was fantastic because I talk a lot about that with baby massage and I think it's wonderful.
Yes, I love as well this quote. And it's very true. Some mothers sometimes just feel that they don't need to know more about it, probably because they have quite a nice upbringing. But when you close that door of learning more, you just have less opportunities to make progress because we can always be better than where we are now or what we are now. So when you open that door of self-education and growing as a parent, wow, you will just witness beautiful results. And that's what I did. I had a beautiful upbringing, but I just wanted to be more, to be even a greater mom that my mom was to me. She was a great, great mom. That was my objective. And I knew that learning from people that have been there before me, learning about their mistakes, learning about their triumphs, will definitely put me in that place of being better than I am. And that's absolutely what I've done. What I loved about it is the confidence I had. When situations were occurring, I was just relaxed because I knew in advance how I could handle that situation. If I give an example, I remember the time when my first one had a tantrum in a supermarket. And I've learned about that before. So when the situation occurred, I was like, okay, wow. I didn't know that it would be like so loud and so crazy. But I stayed so calm, so centered, and patient as well with my child, just because I had the knowledge ahead. So I was able to really manage and handle the situation, meaning remaining very, very patient and calm with him. Even when we were out of the supermarket, I just talked nicely to him and say that I understand his frustration, but it's something that I couldn't give him, and I'm not, let it go just because he's losing it in terms of his emotions. I was so proud of myself this day because I didn't lost it. I was in charge and it was a success. This was thanks to learning, because I've learned about tantrum before it happened for my child. So I was just aware of it. When you get this awareness, it just makes your life so much easier, so much more peaceful, and you feel that you are in control.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that you learned from other mums and learning how to build that confidence, because every mum goes through it in a different way. But learning and observing what other people do and then taking it on board and learning for yourself builds up your confidence.
Completely.
To be a better mum or be. So what would you say was one of the biggest learnings as a mother of two that you would share with mums who are commencing or are about to commence their parenting journey?
For me, the biggest thing that is life-changing, literally, is to build or create your support system. As soon as you know that you're pregnant and motherhood is your journey, you have to create or build your support system, because you can't go in that journey alone. So either with your partner, or if you have your family, that's brilliant, but sometimes it's not the case. Sometimes you don't have your family around you. So it's your responsibility to make sure that you reach out to people even before the baby is born, to just make sure, okay, who can help me if I need any help in terms of childcare, or in terms of if I need emotional support as well, who can support me? Who can help me? And you really need to plan ahead, because when you are in it, you can still reach out, and I hope you will do. And I highly recommend parents to do that, but I didn't. And because I didn't, I suffered, because there was no one to rely on to help me, to support me. And I didn't even know that I could have someone. So there are lots of professionals in this world for us to help us, but sometimes they just don't come to you. You have to go to them. And for me, it's the most important thing. This proverb, this African proverb that says, it takes a village to raise a child, it's absolutely true. The child cannot just rely on the mother, because if it's the case, then it's too draining, it's too tiring for just one person to be there 24/7 for the baby. So it's something that mother has to keep in mind. It's very, very important. That's, I would say, the most important thing. And when you want to still have time for yourself, you need the support system. Without it, you're just going to be always with your baby all the time. So it's going to be too difficult at some point to just find yourself, be with yourself.
Yeah, you said at the beginning that you set up the creche. Did that help? Did that give you any support that you felt that you needed, or was it too difficult not having that time to yourself?
It was very difficult because I was just losing myself. I was not able to remember who I was. I was just mom every single day. I'm not saying that I didn't love it. I absolutely love it, but I love myself as well. I love being with my friends as Tessia, and not always all through the day just being mom, mom, mom. So it has been difficult for me to not be able to do things that I would have loved to do while I was taking care of them full time. And it could have been different if I had the awareness that people outside can help me, and just being willing to just reach out, it would have been so much different.
Yeah, because I know the chapter in your book is about staying at home as a working mum. That must be very hard if you're staying at home working when you're on your own. It must be a hard thing to do. So are there any tips you give to a mum in that respect?
It will be the same thing, the support system. If you need a nanny, if you need a babysitter, if you need a maternity nurse, whatever is your need, the solution is outside, waiting for you.
I can relate to that one. I think a lot of mums don't want to ask because they feel that they need to do it themselves, that they're supposed to be this super mum that can do it without support.
Yes, but the super mom is the mom who knows that she needs to be, in top of her shape, mentally, emotionally, physically, for her children. And to do that, you need people to help you with your children, because it's impossible to have all the energy required and being so emotionally stable and mentally stable when you're tired all the time. It's impossible. You're just so tired. So we all know what does it feel when we're so tired. We get frustrated lot quicker. We can lose it really fast. We all know this. So to avoid that is to avoid being tired. And how do you do this? By delegating, by accepting support. And even if you don't know that person, nowadays we have this recommendations system where you can check the references and you can hear from other mothers how great is the person. And this is something that can make you feel more comfortable with the idea. All the moms will tell you how that person was with their own children, so you can trust.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that because I do nanny work and babysitting myself, and I get a lot of recommendations from mums. But I guess if you're a first-time mum, it's hard for you to give your child to somebody else to look after because you're so close to that child and you've bonded with that child, and you find it hard to think that somebody else can look after that child better than you can.
It's not about that. I understand that because I felt that as well. But when the person comes in and you start to bond with that person, you easily start to feel absolutely comfortable with the idea of leaving your child with that person. Because now the person is part of the family and you just trust the person. Yes, you don't trust at first, but after 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, you start to feel that, oh, you know what? It's okay. It's okay to leave the baby 2 hours with her or whatever. There is no pressure in it. You just do it the way it works for you. So if it takes 3 weeks, a month and a half, we're all different, and that's not a problem. I really think that they need to consider that option because it's an option that will help them connect with themselves and just be able to do things that they love to do as well. So it's not something that you have to do straight away, like, oh, I just have the baby and I need to. No, you can take your time with it. And I'm sure the right person will come in, and with time you will trust that person and you will be comfortable with this idea and you will start to enjoy doing things that you used to enjoy before becoming a mom.
I think it's also about trusting your intuition when you're interviewing that person too. When that person arrives in your house, you know within yourself if that person's right, and if you really trust in your own intuition, and vice versa with the person, the nanny or the babysitter, they can pick that up as well, pick up that energy, and you can sense if the person's right for you or not.
I agree completely. Sometimes we just put that aside, intuition, which sometimes brings so much results when we just rely on it. So I agree definitely with you. You feel it. It's the same when you choose a school for your children. You just get in, you just feel that, oh, this is the right one. So we need to trust more our intuition and our feelings.
Yeah, and I think for a mum who's just had a baby, it takes time for her to trust that intuition. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I definitely agree. This little one is just a miracle, so precious. It's not that easy to let it go.
Thank you so much for being on here this evening, my time, and morning, your time.
Yeah.
Is there any other tip that you would like to pass on to a first-time mum?
So you said what would be my two biggest lessons. So the first one was the support system. The second one is self-education and continuing on learning. You can do that through podcasts, books as well, watching videos. You have as well parenting support groups on different social media. And I think this is the best way to be the best version of yourself as a mother. It's self-education, knowing and knowing more. It's not only gathering the knowledge, but it's applying the knowledge, because the intention is to change the end results, right? So you gather that knowledge, you apply the knowledge, and then you see changes happening, occurring, and then that's when you learned.
Thank you for all your inspiration. It's brilliant to hear a mum saying that, because I think it's so important.
Yes, it is.
So if anybody wants to find out about you or find out how to get in touch with you, how would they go about doing that? How can they find your book?
It's on Amazon, so they can easily find it there. The book is called Rejuvenated Moms Make Happy Kids.
And are you on Instagram or anything?
Yes, Tessia Watson on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn as well.
Okay, well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, Hélène. Thank you so much.
Thanks, mums. You are amazing, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit the subscribe button, because in the next episode, I'm chatting with Emily Miotto about her experience of postpartum depression and how she healed herself by connecting with her intuition and inner wisdom. The other thing I want you to do after listening to this episode is to get your Sleep Tips Quick Start Guide to help you establish a sleep routine that works and helps you feel less tired, less stressed, and have a happier, more contented little one who sleeps better. To get yours, visit mybabymassage.net/sleep now. That's mybabymassage.net/sleep now.